Hi everyone! Welcome to a different type of video today. Instead of doing a time lapse, I thought I would show you guys how I'm going to be planning in my bullet journal for the month of September. A lot of you guys have requested to see more bullet journal videos and I'm super excited to share one with you. Real quick before I begin, I wanted to tell you guys about a social network dedicated to bullet journalers like us. It's called Journal Amino, and it contains so many cool features such as a front page full of featured posts, a public chat room where you can connect with other bullet journalers, and quizzes and polls and so many fun things to explore, and it's particularly fun for people who are new to the community like myself. Since I'm still fairly new to the community, I would love to see some of your favorite spreads. If you share your spread with me with the hashtag HappyDArtist, you will have a chance to be featured in my next bullet journal video, and I'm so excited to see what you guys have to share. So let us begin. First things first, I don't actually have a separate cover page for each month. That is the common style. For me, since I'm still fairly new, I wanted to keep things simple. I don't really have that many creative ideas on how to decorate and lay out all of these fun pages yet. So hopefully moving forward, as I get more involved and have more practice, I'll be able to come up with some more creative spreads. But for now, I just have one general cover page that I use for my entire notebook to denote kind of the months that are going to be contained in the notebook. Next up is the first and probably the most important page in my entire month's bullet journal spread, and that is the calendar. So I am a huge fan of drawing out a physical calendar, like in a grid layout. It just helps me visualize the deadlines more, and I just respond better to this type of organization. So in this calendar, I reserve it predominantly for my painting deadlines and also my YouTube uploading deadlines and just various kind of important dates. So it's kind of a deadline calendar in a way. And something different that I've been doing recently is to plan out the paintings that I have to finish for the month and break down the painting deadlines into smaller deadlines. So instead of saying, oh, I need to finish this piece by this day, I actually break it down into, I want to finish the concept sketch for this piece by a certain day, I want to finish the first layer by a certain day, the second layer by a certain day. And when I introduce these kind of more granular deadlines into my schedule, I find that it really helps me keep up the pace. Previously, when I had very general kind of single deadlines for paintings, it really didn't do much in keeping me on track, and I ended up not being able to complete as many pieces as I wanted to. So I find that when you break down huge, hefty tasks into smaller, more digestible tasks, it really helps you keep up the pace and make your ultimate deadline on time. I also fill in the pieces as they progress so that I'm able to visually keep track of my progress. And using the same yellow marker, I'm just going to outline the biggest deadlines. So the day that I must absolutely finish the pieces by, or when the pieces are due for either a gallery show or for a client, I make sure to highlight those important dates on my calendar so that every time I look at it, I'm constantly reminded, and the deadline is kind of refreshed in my brain so I don't forget. And also, I like to populate the entire calendar with the more granular tasks as well, such as, layer 1, layer 2. And doing that, it kind of helps me give myself a starting point when I'm drawing out my daily logs, which I will explain later in the video. But basically, I have been obsessed with filling up this calendar and knowing what I have to do for the month, whether it's a day in advance or a week in advance or, a month in advance, really helps me kind of set tangible goals and work at a actual feasible and productive pace every day for the entire month. The page next to the calendar is dedicated for my monthly goals and brain dump. So my monthly goals are basically all of the tasks and errands and important deadlines that are not related to painting or releasing videos. And they're things like paying taxes or, wanting to go to the gym so many times a week and things like that. My brain dump is mostly where I like to brainstorm ideas. If I have an idea in mind for a video or a painting, I quickly jot it down into the brain dump. And I'm just going to do a little bit of decorating here. Again, I'm not that experienced yet, so I don't think I'm the best at decorating. And I've always said that I'm a painter, but I'm not very crafty. So please bear with me if this seems way too simple, but I basically used some washi tape that I got off of Amazon, and I'm using it to draw a little outline for each of the lists. So instead of drawing it with a pen, I'm simply using this tape just to add a little bling and a little sparkle to my bullet journal. Oh, and I will be listing all of the supplies I'm using, including the tape and my pens and markers, in the description below if you guys are interested in checking it out for yourself. Okay, now that these two lists are super pretty and shiny, I'm just going to start filling in. And one thing I like to keep in mind for my monthly goals is to not put too much pressure on myself. These are kind of general things I want to aspire to and try to accomplish, things like going to the gym 3 times a week or waking up early. But if I'm not able to do that every single day, I don't want to punish myself mentally. I think even if I accomplish a fraction of these goals, it's still a good thing. It's still better than nothing. So I like to think of this page as a no pressure zone, and same thing applies to the brain dump. I'm not going to pressure myself to actually complete all of the videos or render all of the ideas that I put here. It's kind of like a safe brainstorming zone. Next up, we have another favorite page of mine, which is the habit tracker. So I like to use the habit tracker to try to get myself to form good habits and also to break bad habits. Now, I'm not going to show you guys every single habit that I put down to track because some of them are a little bit personal and slightly embarrassing, like trying to remind myself to eat healthy or wake up early. But I will say that I do use this list kind of as a hybrid for both my personal habits and my professional ones. So I will show you guys the habits that I'm trying to track in terms of my art career. Things like, for example, remembering to post on my social media platforms very frequently, remembering to set aside time every day to paint and draw, and also going to the post office so I can ship out packages frequently and also check my PO box in case you guys send me mail. And these are things, again, it's kind of similar to my monthly goals and my brainstorming list. I tried to not put too much pressure on myself. My goal is not to fill in every single habit every single day, but rather just kind of get a rough idea of the progress I'm making. And something new that I'm starting this month is a mood tracker. So I've been reading a lot about it and I thought it was such a good idea. I think that your physical health and also your career progress is just as important as your mental health. So I am trying to make a conscious effort this month to keep a track of my mood throughout the day. So I guess my mood during the day and my mood around evening time. And during the day, it's kind of like during my work day, am I feeling productive? Am I feeling lazy? Am I feeling stressed out? And then at night is pretty much the time that I get to spend off work, that I spend relaxing, and I'm trying to make sure that I actually take the time off to not overwork myself, to enjoy my evenings, and to kind of elevate my mood. So I created a key for myself that is basically color coded, and each different color denotes a different type of emotion. Last but not least are the daily logs. So this month I'm doing something different than what I've done previously, and that is to implement an hourly structure for my tasks. Before, when I just had a general list of things to do, sometimes I would tend to push everything towards the end of the day, and then I would run out of time to do everything on my to-do list. And I found that when I separate things into hourly chunks, it really helps me keep up the pace for the day, and it really is beneficial in kind of burning through my entire task list. And I just wanted to quickly thank my friend Lena Danya for giving me this idea. So this has really improved my overall bullet journaling experience and just overall productivity levels. But before I start populating the list for each day, I actually refer to my monthly calendar. And usually if I have a big important deadline, I already would have written it onto my monthly calendar. And so first things first, I make sure to put those items onto my to-do list for that day. And I also, of course, have other errands and tasks that pop up depending on the day. And much like the rest of my bullet journal, I'm not trying to put too much pressure on myself to follow this hourly schedule perfectly. It's okay if, I'm late by 30 minutes or even an hour. Rather, I see this as a general guideline to separate my morning, noon, afternoon, and evening tasks so that I don't get carried away doing one thing the whole day and neglect other tasks that I need to finish. And this just kind of helps me keep up the pace and make sure that I give equal amounts of attention to everything I need to do that day. And that is pretty much my bullet journal spread for the month of September. Thank you guys so much for watching with me. I know that I don't have the fanciest or most decorative bullet journal spread out there. I'm still new and still trying to learn and pick up, new things, but I'm really excited to be a part of this community, and bullet journaling really has helped made my life more organized and productive, and I cannot wait to share more videos like this with you guys. So I will catch you guys next time, and I hope you have a lovely day. Bye!